So what is the answer? Well, Stoke-On-Trent City Council believes it has a solution which could get people out of renting and help regenerate rundown areas.
Today, the first people to buy a house from the council for just £1 got to see inside their future homes. Each new owner will take out a £30,000 loan from the council to get the properties done up, and they'll pay it back in instalments. And as Chris Halpin reports, the project now has international interest.
These terraces in Stoke-On-Trent are a little underloved. But after renting for 10 years, that doesn't bother Teresa and Lawrence, who've now got a place of their own with this.
I saw it on Central News that, about the project, and that we'd only got so many days left to apply. We only found out officially yesterday when we had a meeting with the council. It's like winning the lottery. To us, it's like winning the lottery. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
So this is the back garden.
Tax worker Gavin Pierpoint works just round the corner from his new house. He's been trying to save for a deposit. Now he's passed the council's £1 property process. He's from Stoke, in work, so can borrow the money to do the house up, and promised to live there for at least 5 years.
But obviously with rent, it's effectively dead money, so it's not going towards anything you can't save, and it's difficult to get the initial deposit for a house. So schemes like this just make the housing market just accessible for everybody, really.
And it's a model the City Council hope will bring pride back to these streets.
When you get a high turnover of private rented tenancies, people don't take pride in their area, people don't invest. So for us to bring in owner-occupiers is crucial, and the whole point of selling the properties for £1, they are worth more than that. But we're selling them for £1 because it's a way of encouraging people to come in and live in the properties.
And it's a gimmick which has also been noticed internationally. Today there were TV news crews from Germany and from China, all intrigued by the terraces with the tiny price tag.
In China, £1 means 10 yuan, and you can only afford maybe a soup or a noodle soup. So that's very cheap, and no one can imagine that £1 can buy a property.
20 properties have been taken, which means there's still 13 left, all up for grabs for those who want to make a house a home, but also help rebuild this community. Chris Halpin, ITV News, Stoke-On-Trent.
So some good news and international interest there in Stoke. But what about the rest of the country? Well, we're joined now by Dr. Steve McCabe, who's a housing expert at Birmingham City Business School. Dr. McCabe, how serious is the housing situation?
Well, it is pretty serious. There are a lot of people who want to live somewhere and they can't get onto the housing ladder because of the unaffordability problem, or the affordability if you like. But rent levels are sort of rocketing at the moment, way above the inflation rate, so they're sort of deterred from that also. So it is a sort of a problem, and it's not going to get better.
The issue is then, I suppose, what do we do about it? I mean, what do you make of the government's Help to Buy scheme? Is it a good thing, or is it a gimmick?
I'm afraid I believe it's a sort of cynical ploy on behalf of Osborne and others to inflate the property market. Of course, people tend to feel better if their house prices are going up, and so coming into an election, that's no bad thing from their point of view. The easiest way to solve this is to build more houses.
And why isn't that happening?
Well, house builders, that they tend to sort of sit on land and they build when they think they can make maximum profit. What we need is some government intervention which actually creates the sort of thing that sort of Stoke are doing, which is making houses much more affordable to people at the bottom end.
What's wrong with renting? Why can't we all just rent? Why do we have to buy a house?
Well, technically there's no problem. You know, for instance, I was thinking about buying a car recently, and I was looking at the sort of the fact that I could lease just as cheaply as I could buy this thing. So it's a cultural thing. People like to own their own houses, and of course what they like to think is it's increasing asset value.
Okay.
No easy solution, I guess, then.
No easy solution.
That hasn't helped at all. No, thank you very much for coming in, Dr. McCabe.
You're welcome.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.